So, there are a lot of things in this world that thin people will never understand. So this is a series that I'm starting called Fat Shit Thin People Will Never Understand. And to start this series off, here's something that my older sister does that seems very fatphobic. Enjoy. My sister's house, you see these goddamn chairs? I cannot fit in a single goddamn one of them. You see this bench? This is where I sit. It holds me. Some more of these goddamn chairs. Okay? You see that plastic thick long chair that's wide? Yeah, my mom and I brought those here because she refused to buy bigger chairs for us. Because we don't fucking fit in these chairs. And she thinks we can. I'm gonna give you a little sample. Alright? The chair. Alright? The chair. I'm gonna put a towel in it because it's hot as balls. The chair. Ow. Yeah, this hurts really bad. Like really, this hurts so bad. Yeah, my sister goes, see, you can sit in it. Can I sit in it comfortably? No. It's just a flat out refusal to buy wider chairs. Or, you know, maybe chairs without arms. Because you see this? This hurts. It's just some bullshit that she'll never understand because she's been thin her entire life. Oh! Ay, sheesh. Ay.
It took till I was well over halfway through this video to realize that this wasn't a joke. This woman made a 2-minute long video about how uncomfortable it was to lounge beside her sister's pool because she only had one bench to sit on comfortably. And how upset she was that someone else, who was already letting her use their pool, won't buy bigger pool chairs for them. The sheer level of entitlement on this one astonishes me. But don't worry, she learned her lesson from the comments telling her she was being absurd and just kidding. She doubled down hard.
I'm in there for a kidney infection, and these are the only chairs to sit in. This is ridiculous. This shit is so painful, I know I'm getting bruised. And people in the comments of my video about my sister's pool chairs are calling me entitled. Are you serious? Entitled because I want to be able to sit comfortably. It's not just at her house, it's all places. Like the damn emergency room. I would just stand, but I am in so much pain that I do not physically have the energy to do so. And this damn chair isn't helping. F you for saying I'm acting like I'm entitled. Serious.
Wow. So people called her out for her entitlement and she said that she deserves to lounge comfortably. I don't like to use the term first world problems to mitigate other people's struggles, but this is exactly what that phrase was made for. To insist that your sister should buy you new chairs, which are bound to be more expensive than the ones she already has, so your lounging experience around her pool could be more pleasant. What's next? Are you going to ask her to get a bigger bathtub so your nightly soak can be more comfortable too? Or demand that she remodel the kitchen because that pesky island keeps rubbing against your hips? I'm outdone with this selfishness and completely done with this woman.
Talk about fatphobia and the COVID vaccine. It's no secret that fatphobia is rampant within the United States, which is evidenced by the medicalization of fatness and the conflation of weight with health. For example, people often fat shame others with the excuse that they're bullying and harassing this person for their own health. With the horrible and inaccurate idea that fat shaming people will 1. Force them to lose weight, and 2. Thinness is the default and everyone who isn't thin must work hard to become thin. And this fatphobia extends to the COVID-19 vaccine. As mentioned previously, fatness has been medicalized using the wildly inaccurate BMI scale and is thus viewed as a pre-existing medical condition. The BMI-based eligibility for the COVID-19 vaccine might possibly be the first time medical fatphobia has ever worked to fat people's benefit. And I use the term benefit loosely because I don't ever want to make it sound like fatphobia is good. I know there was a TikTok trend where fat people celebrated getting the COVID vaccine, and I genuinely love that. There, of course, was some backlash by fatphobes and people who don't wash between their toes, but hell yeah to vaccinations.
Fatness has not been medicalized. Fatness has always been considered unhealthy by doctors for thousands of years. But it was only within the last century that it became a big issue. And while I don't endorse body shaming anyone, being thin is the default healthy size for all humans. Which is why doctors use weight as a metric for health, and why fat people are at more risk of dying from a widespread virus than skinny people.
A day in the life of a fat person with an eating disorder. Fat people, I hope you watch this video and know you're not alone. Thin people, I hope you watch this video and consider all the ways your day might have been different, and think about what that says about thin privilege. Today I went to lunch with my boyfriend, and then we went shopping at Target. First we went to Red Robin. When my boyfriend pulled up to the restaurant, he had to let me out before parking, because I often can't get out of the car when another car is parked next to us. We went and sat down at a table, and my belly was resting just at the edge. I had to ask the server to be moved, and then I saw that there were calories on the menu, which just made coping with my ED so much harder. I spent my time looking at the menu, replaying the 2 incidents of society communicating to me that I don't deserve to exist, over and over in my head. When we walked into Target, I noticed that the entire left wall and a bit of the middle of the store, about 20% of the entire store, was dedicated just to straight-sized clothes. I headed to the clearance, only to find that the section, which was bigger than my bedroom, had 0 plus-size options. After almost 10 minutes of searching, we found the tiny Ava and Viv shelf next to the fitting room, which was located in the back of the store and was small enough that it could have fit inside my bathroom. I spent 20 minutes finding clothes for myself, most of which were ugly, and the ones that were not carried in my size. I picked out 2 basic shirts, a sweater, and a pair of jeans. I went to the underwear section of the store and could not find my size at all. The tiny plus-size underwear section was conveniently located by the shapewear, communicating to me yet again that to be worthy, I should suck in my belly until I can't eat or breathe. I walked to the register to pay, again walking past the enormous straight-sized clothing section, and then went home. I was so exhausted, and I tried to relax by scrolling through TikTok, only to be confronted with videos by thin people body checking and reassuring themselves that they don't look like me, and labeling it body positivity. They justify this behavior with their eating disorders, which I also have, and which is severely impacted by their words and their actions. Trying on clothes and eating at a restaurant is difficult for anybody with an eating disorder, but it was made much more difficult by encountering messages over and over that my presence was not wanted, that in order to be deserving of existence, I should engage in disordered behaviors that are seen as a problem and an illness for thin people, but are a prescription for fat people. The phrase thin privilege does not mean that thin people don't have their struggles or that their insecurities are not valid. It means that universally difficult struggles for people with eating disorders are also a battle for fat people to even exist.
Point number 1, not being able to get out of your car in parking spaces or having your belly sit uncomfortably in restaurants is unfortunate, but not a result of lack of privilege. Body size is a choice, and if you are content with your size, you have to live with the consequences of it. Point number 2, having calorie counts on a menu may be triggering for your ED, but a bunch of skinny people have EDs, so it is not specific to you. Point number 3, not finding clothes. Honestly, who is shopping for all their clothes at Target? There are a bunch of brands that sell plus-sized clothing like American Eagle and Torrid. Just go there. And buy your underwear online. Problem solved. All of these problems are minor inconveniences caused by your size and your ED, and the only one that is specific to the thin privilege you're talking about is your size. And while not fitting places does suck, it is a minor inconvenience. And minor inconveniences do not constitute oppression.
Okay, you may love being skinny, but that's because you were taught that skinny is better than fat. You were instilled with the message that thinness makes you superior. You've probably been afforded all the social privileges that come with being thin. In our culture, thinness is equated with health, wellness, morality, attractiveness, all kinds of other positive qualities. The world was built for bodies like yours, so of course you'd love it. If you replace the word skinny with white in the statement, do you recognize the harm? No one can tell you how to feel about your body, but please do not think for a second that this is about other people's insecurities. This is about a fucked up system that privileges and rewards some people while denigrating and discriminating against others for their body size. A system that has normalized this type of thinking. Self-reflection is uncomfortable, and I get it. I also live in a body that's been afforded a lot of privileges, and it's really uncomfortable to acknowledge that, but our species will never progress if we don't.
Equating saying, I want to be skinny, to saying, I want to be white, is so wildly tone-deaf, it's shocking. Racism is absolutely nothing like fatness, and the fact that it is almost exclusively white women that like to sit up on TikTok and tell people that being fat comes with the same oppression as being black or Asian or any other racial minority goes to show how little they know about actual oppression. And how far they'll go to justify their self-victimization. It is vile. And anyone who compares not being able to find cute clothes to the real and pervasive threats to their physical safety many actual minorities deal with daily is absolutely disgusting.
my name is Marin. Welcome to Fun Fact Friday, and today I'm going to use this golden hour glow, hopefully, to be able to tell you a little bit about thin privilege. Earlier this week, I posted a video using a thin privilege audio, and a lot of people got mad, and I don't ever want that to be the case, so let's talk about it. Along the same veins of white privilege and male privilege, thin privilege is something that doesn't get talked about a lot. Thin privilege is when you can walk into almost any store and know something is going to fit you. Thin privilege is going to your doctor and saying something's wrong, and they don't say, you need to lose weight. Thin privilege is having seats actually fit your body anywhere that you go. Please don't be mistaken. I am not at all denying the fact that thin bodies also face body shame just like bigger bodies. And body shaming isn't cool. I do not condone it. But there is undeniable privilege in this life if you have a smaller body, and we have to do a lot of work to change that.
No, there are undeniable consequences of being fat. Doctors tell you to lose weight because being fat is unhealthy. Chairs are made to fit most people, and most chairs in most places fit most people. Even if you are fat, most chairs still fit you. And if they don't, it's most likely a consequence of the size you've reached, not a systematic conspiracy to keep fat people from going out in public.